Vampires, paranoia, psychology, pretty effective day-for-night sequences. These are the things that make up John D. Hancock's Let's Scare Jessica to Death, a classic that I feel is still criminally underlooked from the new Hollywood era. I think I discovered this gem many years back watching Bravo's 100 Scariest Movie Moments, but it's a bit of a blur. Point is, the film stuck with me when I first watched it way back when, and it is a creepy one. The story, as follows, centers around Jessica, who is newly released from a mental ward to move into a country home with her husband and a close friend in hopes to live the life it was before her nervous breakdown. Now, the key to Let's Scare Jessica to Death's success is mostly found in its uncertainty. She drops this quote in the midpoint of the film: "Dreams or nightmares, madness or sanity." We're not quite sure what to believe because Jessica has had issues in the past that required her to be institutionalized. And right from the get-go, she starts seeing things, mainly a girl glaring at her from a distance. It's not until Jessica hears a local legend of a girl who went for a swim and never returned, only to become a vampire, that the stakes are raised, no pun intended. As the viewer, you're left to wonder if Jessica's doubts and fears about her future and her marriage are feeding into the legend and possibly making it all become real. You have Zara Lamper as Jessica, who is simply incredible. We get flashes of fear, joy, and suppressed anger, which is totally justified in the story, and they flicker over her face in close-ups, but also in her anxious thoughts, expressed in despairing voiceover, and ultimately become our own as a viewer. We're essentially following her stream of consciousness in a world that wants to break her down mentally. It's also shot in such a subtle way. A lot of exteriors help the country house become a character in itself, and there's a healthy blend of scenes lingering and zooming or cutting to uncomfortable wide-angle close-ups of creepy old men. And it helps that most of the lighting here appears natural too. If I did have any major gripes, it's mostly in this film's marketing. The poster makes the film out to look like a schlocky supernatural thriller when it's far from it, and the title Let's Scare Jessica to Death seems to serve as a draw to get more people to see the movie, even though it doesn't reflect the ideas the film pushes, specifically the mental toll on a person's life when they're trying to recover from trauma. That said, guys, this is a fascinating, really atmospheric horror tale that feels so ahead of its time, and probably ahead of most horror films made in the US at the time, and very much in the vein of Euro-Gothic horror. The closest comparison I can maybe make in terms of mood and framing would be any giallo film by Mario Bava. The movie is not showing any content for the viewer, but it is playing tricks on you under its effective slow burn pace. You have to pay attention, and you have to consider that you might reach a different conclusion upon a second viewing. It's from another dimension, and honestly, I think it deserves a place in the Criterion Collection.
I'm calling on all the spirits of everyone who's ever died in this house. Jessica. I'm calling on all the spirits of everyone who's ever died in this house. Jessica.
Paramount Pictures presents Let's Scare Jessica to Death.
I'll just take a minute! Jessica, you're home now. Who are you? Why have you been following me?
What's the matter with her?
She knows who killed that man.
What man? I don't know.
He was lying right here. But I swear it's true. No! I think that the same creature or whatever it is that killed the antique dealer killed them all.
I think you should go back to New York for a while. You could see your doctor.
I'm alive. I'm still alive. I was just, looking at the picture. Looks so much like you. My eyes. Look in my eyes. Come with me. Come with me. Follow me, Jessica. Follow me. I won't go away. I'll go away. It's not real, Jessica. It's not real. I'm here. I'm here, Jessica. You want to die. You want to die.
Leave me! Will you be quiet? I'll hear you! Dreams or nightmares, madness or sanity. I don't know which is which.
Let's scare Jessica to death.